Hi, this is Cynthia Ortiz. These are the Charles Perry Stalker podcast. It's the 5th of December. No, January. I keep thinking that's the wrong month. Anyways, it's January 2023, and this is the actual podcast. Earlier I did a quick, I'm sitting for an hour with nothing, and that's very unusual. So most our forensic accountant has done some studies of my strip club business and of DoorDash because they're trying to make a case, right, for grand larceny with intent to coerce, interference with commerce and contracts with intent to coerce. And you know why? Because Mr. Perry was talking about starving me into a lie and starving me until I agreed to be trafficked. So let's first of all describe what that means. What is trafficking? It's horrific, and people are horrified by it. So you're sold to some freaky Jason who can't get a date the normal way, and he's gonna abuse the hell out of you. He's gonna, or you gotta be pimped out, and you gotta. I'm gonna be graphic here, but this is what trafficking is. You're gonna have to suck a bunch of dicks, or you're gonna have to be raped, or all of the above. It's just a prostitute, basically, is what it is. It's a sex slave, and so they'll promise you money. They'll promise you this and that, especially if you're vulnerable. If you're not vulnerable, or you're a little bit vulnerable, they'll try to make you vulnerable. Now, why they fixate on one particular person, who knows? Why they fixate on me, especially when they get caught every time they do something to me. It's been that way for 10 years. This has not happened once or twice or for a month or two. Every time they go at me, every time they do the crime to me, they get caught. And it's been that way every day for 10 years. And they act like they think there's not going to be a criminal trial, and there is, or we wouldn't do all this, and I wouldn't poop, but why'd they pick me? What's the fixation on me? Why not go, most people follow the path of least resistance, and they'll go for the easy target. So, they get caught when they do it to me. That's usually a crime deterrent when people get caught. Most people are smart enough that when they get caught planning, say, like a bank robbery or something, they're caught, right? So they bail. They don't actually do the bank robbery. They don't actually do whatever it was they were planning. Barring death threats, typically, if it is something that's just being talked about, they don't really, there's not really a crime there. They're just talking about robbing a bank, but until they actually rob the bank, there's not a crime. So what is happening here? I don't know. Mr. Perry likes to hack, so there's no telling. Okay, well, it's working anyway. So the thing is, these guys got caught trying to traffic me, and Mr. Perry, he never shuts up. So, every organization has a weak link. He and David Robertson are that for this, which makes this so easy it's not fair. But we've got all this detailed things of what they want to do and how they work, how they make a woman vulnerable, so that she's easier to traffic. All the things that they planned. We got to take her computer away from her. We got to take her driver's license away from her. We got to take her social security card away from her. We got to take her, make sure she doesn't have any money. She doesn't have family support. She's got nothing. Because women who have nothing are easier to traffic. They're picking women who are divorced with kids. So there's a little bit of a vulnerability there. They're single moms, but they're not completely vulnerable like a teenage runaway. Why not go for the teenage runaway? Or the immigrant? Or somebody who there's, unfortunately, the goal would be to end all trafficking. I think it's an unrealistic goal. The goal is to end all drug use, and I think that's an unrealistic goal. You can stop it where you can get to it and where you can find it. And this organization, though, is a good place to go to because they got a lot of weak links. So if you're trying to stop crime, you find that, don't you? Follow the path of least resistance. That's where you find, you look for the Achilles heel, you look for the vulnerabilities, and there's your thing. And who's these guys in Houston that are mad? Well, how much money do they lose? We hear that discussed all the time too. These guys in Houston. Okay, so TPD has a problem in that they gave my police report to the offender. You have to, by law, file a police report in Oklahoma to get a protective order. If somebody's threatening you with human trafficking, or they're trying to coerce you, or they're witness tampering, or they're stalking, hacking, and peeping, or they are threatening you with death and false arrest, you need a protective order, don't you? So, yeah, I needed one, and they're trying to kill me. I needed a blood test. I didn't get one because, in part, TPD gives my police report to the offender, which is never done. So now everything you guys do, you do understand the rest of the world. Please understand, you got your little group of weirdos. You got your, the sex weirdos that are doing all the trafficking. And then you got the corruption, where that would be in government agencies. And the guys who've decided the best I can do with my career in law enforcement is be the bitch of a sex weirdo. So you understand the rest of the world gets that. You understand that you have your little world where y'all have your little meetings, and you decide you think you can make your lie work, but the rest of the planet's going, yeah, I don't think so. We're not stupid. Are you stupid? Because we're not. So please understand that that's happening, that people can see it, plain as day. You can walk around with your eyes closed. Our eyes aren't closed. We can see fine. So understand that, first of all, because that's part of your Achilles heel, and we think it's funny as fuck that you do that. So already, anything that TPD does to me after that looks a little funny, because you fucked that up, and you know you fucked that up, and you fucked it up big. And so the offender then obstructed justice, prevented him, delayed me from reporting the crime they committed against me in Tulsa, where Tulsa police have jurisdiction, and didn't handle a domestic violence complaint properly, and caused me to lose my evidence. They caused, the offender intentionally caused the degradation of evidence of attempted murder, and you know that. Okay, so you did that. That was your fuck up. And instead of trying to do the right thing and there's a lot of woulda, shoulda, couldas, we know that. We should have followed protocol. We shouldn't have trusted a whack job. We signed our name to a whack job who makes one bad decision after another because he doesn't have any cognitive reasoning skills due to Huntington's disease. But the thing is, he's also came over here and hired, Mafia? Who's? Lucius and David Mafia? Robertson? David Robertson and Lucius, are they Mafia? They're the dumbest Mafia I've ever seen. I used to live in Vegas. You got a lot of liabilities, you got a lot of Achilles heels. Believe me, we found them, sir. All of you. We found them. We look first before we start talking, before we start doing anything. We look for that specifically. That's your inroad right there. And, look at this. This is very detailed information. Nobody else has. TPD didn't get it. We got it. And you don't know who has the actual recordings that put all that together. This is kind of like an overview of a whole lot of recordings. So what police department or policing agency has that? And you're pissing them off. Every day I'm broke. Every day I'm sleeping in my car. Every day I go without food or a bath. These are just basic needs. And you're intentionally depriving me of them, trying to make me lie or be raped and pimped out and trafficked. And I'm not going to do it. And I've said that. And you guys get up every day and you don't have reasonable expectations and you don't have a realistic view of the situation either. TPD. The whole defunding of police was over police corruption. People don't like police corruption. We can get information and you can't. You make a bunch of phone calls looking for who's helping me. Nobody will tell you fuck. You lost some respect when you gave my police report to the offender. And that right there is motive to cause me some problems. You trying to intimidate me? You trying to subjugate me? What are you trying to do? You got gender discrimination problems? You misogynist? I mean, those are the things that we're hearing people talk about behind your back, about you, about this, and of course, Chief Miller and Mike Neely. So you have to live with that. You made the choice. You chose to touch the hot stove. You chose to get burned. All you had to do is follow protocol. Instead, you chose to trust a man who has an actual mental illness diagnosed fruitcake, certified nutbag by a doctor. And you should have known better. You always look before you leap. You always think things through. And somebody earlier said we have got to get a grip on reality because we're basing expectations on a delusional man's fantasy. And we're expecting something she's not going to do. That's not who she is. She's not the stupid stripper that he said she was. Not even close. Now we got what might end up being a mini criminal trial of Charles Perry over a fucking traffic ticket. He demanded and demanded and demanded and demanded that she get pulled over. And now, and if we fuck up that for her, as we have all these other court cases, now we're gonna have more problems. A whole lot more problems. A whole lot more we can't explain. You guys are, sitting around figuring out what the hell are we gonna do with this. You wanted me pulled over again yesterday. Here's the thing, though. Mr. Perry never stops going at me. Constantly going at me. So, go into a restaurant. I pick up the food. I come out with it. I'm having to quick type up to my attorney what just happened. The cop passes right by me. So he didn't come in behind me, as I guess was the plan. The plans of the wicked will come to nothing. So, you're not supposed to attack the victims or women. Are you a misogynist? Do you have gender discrimination problems? Because that's bad. It's worse. It's as bad as racism. It's not worse than racism. It's as bad as racism. Any kind of discrimination against anybody at all, where equal rights are violated because I'm a woman. I mean, I don't know what to say. I could out-cop you. Is that the problem? I mean, I fucking sting up your guy, and you didn't like that? Okay, well, here's the thing, though. I'm getting the job done, and you're not. Because the job is to end suffering caused by crime. That's the job. I said to Jerry Bender, I could sue your guys, and I'm not going to. Because I can't really do that very well. I can do it, but I'm not as well as I can do out-copying your guys. I can do that in my sleep. I'm very effective, or you wouldn't attack me. If I wasn't very, very, very effective, you wouldn't attack me. TPD wouldn't attack me. Mr. Perry wouldn't attack me. Mr. Robertson wouldn't give two shits who I am. I don't know the guy. But I'm not the stupid stripper, fantasy person that Mr. Perry made up in his head. That's not even real. And you are basing expectations on that person, on the description of that person, anticipating my next move based on what he says, which had nothing to do with reality. Nothing at all. Mr. Perry, I'm going to say this for the last fucking time. If you liked women, you would do what women like. Women are repulsed by peeping toms. So if you liked women and you were trying to make me like you, you'd stop peeping, wouldn't you? I don't go out with men that play with dolls. I don't go out with cop killers. I don't go out with men who abuse women and beat women down, hoping that'll make you feel tough because you got a mommy issue bullshit going on. You're bothering everyone else with it. You know, my granddad was the chief of police and the power in the town where I grew up. He was also a county treasurer. He was also a city councilman. He is responsible for those alien museums being set up, one of several people, and that has brought a shit ton of money into that town. Whether you believe aliens exist or not, that doesn't fucking matter. Some people do, some don't. Either way, people want to go look. I don't believe aliens exist, much less that they landed in Roswell, but I went to the museums. I wanted to see what they had there. I've watched National Geographic things on it. I wanted to see what it says. My granddad and I talked about it. I want to know more about it. Okay? Everybody wants to look. Everyone wants to know. You want to go in the museum, you got to pay. You're going to go to visit Roswell, you got to get a hotel. And you got to go shopping, you buy food. There's money being poured into that economy. Okay? So my granddad was an amazing person. And if you're the grandkid, there's some decorum and etiquette and class and dignity expected of you. It's not requested of you, it's expected. So that's how I grew up. And you have no fucking idea what that's like. The standard is higher. The expectations are higher on you than every fucking other kid around you. That's just the way it is. Stand up straight, get your elbows off the table. Say yes, ma'am, say yes, sir. Don't touch things that don't belong to you. Don't interrupt. Don't butt in. On and on and on. Have some class, have some dignity, have some etiquette, have some decorum. And that's how we had to behave. So that's how we behaved, or we got in a lot of trouble. And you don't have any idea. You can tell by the way you live your life. You don't have any class. You don't have any dignity. You don't have any etiquette. You don't have any decorum. You have shit your pants and you're waving them around, making all of us look at it. Because your mommy was mean to you. Whatever. Boo fucking who with your I was abused as a kid. Yeah, a lot of people were, and they don't act like you. Lonnie Evans is a criminologist. He was abused as a kid. Violent abuse. He did the whole violent subjugation, brutalization, criminology theory. I think it's I mean, why can't you be like him? I mean, why would TPD? Why can't you be like Lonnie Evans? Do something good. Even if you make a mistake, find a way to make it right and do something good with it. Why can't you be like that? So we got all this very, very detailed information, and the pullover didn't happen. I mean, what are you trying to harass me by cop? I mean, what is this? So your guy arrest me. He didn't. He pulled me over because he was told to. I mean, the guy was right on my ass. I went to a place to get something. I came out the building, and there he was, sitting right there like he was waiting for me. I'm telling him, why, here's what happened, officer. And instead of saying I have a domestic violence victim in front of me, I need to get some more information. That's what good cops do. Smart cops do. Here's the thing. You can't make one thing that if you want to have expectations come out like you want them to, the first thing you do is shut your mouth and listen and get all the information you can get. You don't make any decisions at all, because you could end up with egg on your face, and my granddad taught me that a long time ago. Don't end up with egg on your face. Don't fucking embarrass. Don't do that. Because that's what's going to happen if you don't get the information first. All of it. As much as you can get it. Then move forward. Because if you just, knee-jerk reaction, you're going to make a fool of yourself. You have to get the information first. Then go forward. And there's been times when I was younger that somebody sent me an email, and business email, and I didn't read the whole thing through, and I didn't read it carefully, and I responded in a way that didn't even make sense. And I'd have to go back and tell the person, I'm sorry, I didn't read this part here, and my response didn't make any sense, and I was in a hurry, and I apologize. Well, had I just fucking done it right to begin with, that would have saved everybody a whole lot of time, and me some embarrassment, because I looked stupid. Okay, well, everybody else is the same way. When you don't, as a cop, especially as a cop, get all the information first. You're going to make a fool. You're going to have egg on your face later. And you decided to be the bitch of a sex weirdo. And one who's delusional. Can't get a grip on reality to save his life. Can't figure out, if you do this, then this happens. And, excuse me. And we're dealing with somebody who probably can out-cop us. Maybe there's certain things that there's no way I could on certain things that you do, certain things that I have been out-copping you. I just have been. That's the way it is. That's reality. You want to deal with reality so that you have better, outcome expectations. That's reality. I'll sting up your guy, and I hope he was wearing a body cam, because the follow-up questions weren't there, and they should have been. And you don't have impressive domestic violence rate, numbers. And domestic violence calls get cops killed. They get them killed. And you don't want to come out on the wrong side of that, I promise. You have the Netflix special, Unbelievable, that shows one cop that got it right and one cop that didn't. And people are horrified and pissed at cops who fail. You're supposed to be of a higher standard. You're tested to make sure you're smart enough, you're not psychotic, and you physically fit, and on and on. I'll tell you one thing that drives me nuts is when I see, I hate to say this, but when I see a police officer that's overweight, that I'm not trusting you to chase the bad guy, please get in shape. Please, if you're going to be a cop, just fucking get in shape, so that when I feel comfortable being around you. If a bad guy comes around me and you got to chase him, I need to know you can. And there's some of you guys that need to just fucking have some pride in your job and in the badge and in what you do, and get your ass in shape. I thought that was expected, but I'm seeing some people maybe to get on the force, it is, but not after. I mean, you need to stay in shape if you're a cop. It's a physically demanding job, and we want to know that you can catch up with, a rapist or a bank robber or a, armed robber or something. If you got to chase him, and you can tackle him, and you're in shape to be able to do that. And so when we see somebody that's, 800 pounds with a badge on, it's like yeah, I don't think so. Anyways, so this is what we got, TPD. You didn't get this. We got this. Okay? And Mr. Perry, I'm not going to be trafficked. I'm not going to be raped. I'm not going to be tortured. I've kicked your criminal ass harder than anybody you know. I did that. I'm very proud of that. And I'm very glad that I'm so effective that your buddies are shitting themselves trying to figure out how to make me leave the state. Nothing could be more rewarding than that. It's stressful, but it's rewarding at the same time. Because I know I'm effective. If I weren't effective and successful and good at what I'm doing, you wouldn't be shitting yourselves trying to figure out how to make me leave the state. Because you're on the wrong side of this. You chose the wrong thing here. I can't help you with that. I really can't. Mr. Perry, you have a medical diagnosis that makes you see things that aren't there. I have no love for you. You horrify everybody. And why you can't get that, I don't know. You fucking absolutely just horrify people. And you do too, David. And you do too, Lucius. And you do too, Calvin. And that's why we can get this kind of stuff and you don't know who has it. Nobody will tell you. You don't know even one name of any of my guys. That's reality. And this means criminal trial. And if anybody is afraid of the traffic ticket trial, hearing, whatever, that you would get corrupt on that too and try to impede it, that again makes you look guilty. You might as well give us an admission of guilt. You might as well sign a confession letter, confession statement. You might as well. Because otherwise you have no problem going into court, arguing legit, legal, normal court proceedings, explain the whole thing, and there's that. The determination has come to. That's what courts are for. Starving someone so that you don't have to be face the music. Again, you're saying I'm guilty. There's the confession right there. And surely you know that's how everybody else sees it. Surely you know everybody else is not stupid. The public is sick and tired of shit like this. Everybody's sick and tired of shit like this. And that's why I have this TPD and you don't. That's why I have this Mr. Perry and you don't have even one name of the person who got that from you to me. Somebody got it from you to me, didn't they? So whatever officer was supposed to pull me over, we heard you talking about it. I was supposed to catch her at the light yesterday, and she got in behind me. I heard you talking about it, sir. I heard you talking about it. Well, here's the thing. If Mr. Perry wasn't going at me and I didn't have something else to type up, here's what he did now. It's something every 5 minutes. Every time I get 1 second in between deliveries, I got to type something up because he does another thing and then another thing and then another thing. I'm a victim of crime in your town, and you want to pull me over to impede the traffic hearing that everybody thinks might end up being a mini criminal trial of Mr. Perry? And it might. He's right. That might be exactly what it turns out to be. And the guy was pissed. He was like, he kept demanding a pullover. Now he got one, and now we might have a mini criminal trial because he did that. And then if he impedes that, that's going to even be worse. So what day are they going to arrest you? The guys that got this, not TPD. TPD could have arrested you. They didn't. They chose not to. You don't know who has those actual recordings that put all that together. You don't know who the witness is. You don't know who the shrink is. Right? You don't know shit who gave us all this. Gotta get her back down to Dallas. The only way she might go back is if Fabian comes to get her, and he's not going to do that and take her back there until he thinks it's safe. Probably he won't help you. I know that. I told you he wouldn't, didn't I? Didn't I tell you he wouldn't help you? Hang on, this is all Perry's jacking it up.
Leave me alone. I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
Oh God. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How can you dress like this? What are you a prostitute? I'm serious.
Sir, please leave.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone.
Stepdad's been raping you since
Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes. You want to leave me alone?
Okay, so the rest of the world, I mean, he can go out and say, I'm not stalking her. She's just crazy. He can go out and say a lot of things. The problem is everybody else can see he is stalking her. And he is harassing her. And he is bothering her. And that's the same thing with you. See, at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is results and outcomes. We're getting the information nobody else has, and you're not. We're effective and you're not. TPD. You're going to have a lot at the end of the day. You're going to have a lot of woulda, shoulda, couldas. I can tell you that right now. Mr. Perry, you're horrifying people. Absolutely horrifying them with your cruelty to me and to Michael Neely. And so for that reason, because of that, that's your why. We can get information and no one will help you. And I've told you that before. I'm not going to be raped. I'm not going to be trafficked. I don't consent. Fuck you. And you got a lot of nerve to continue to think you can still do this. You're caught, dumb fuck. You're caught. Coercion is a very serious crime. Taking someone's money, interfering with contracts and commerce is a very serious crime. So, did you think we're getting all this for party entertainment? There will be a criminal trial, sir. Absolutely there will be. It's a disconnect in y'all's heads that you think we're getting all this and that there's not going to be a criminal trial. Why wouldn't there be? And nobody will help you with information because everybody's sick of you and horrified by you and they want it stopped. So they're helping us, not you. It's that simple. Set your expectations on reality, not Mr. Perry's whack job problem delusion. The imaginary person in his head that has nothing to do with who I am. I'm going to tell you how I do what I do. If someone is talking and if they're talking to me, notice how I handled the thing with the officer. I'm like, he starts telling me, explaining to me about he's patrol, not traffic. And I'm like, okay. So can you explain that to me again? Hopefully he had it, like I said, his body cam on so everybody can just see it. Can you explain that to me again? What's the difference between traffic and patrol, and what's the responsibility difference? Well, traffic pulls people over. Traffic can do an accident report. I can do all of that, and I respond to calls. Like domestic violence calls? Yes. Like if somebody's here harassing me, you handle that? Yes. I've already told him I'm a victim of domestic violence. I've already shown him my confidentiality address because I'm a victim of domestic violence. I've already told them that's the cause on for this pullover right here now. Not one follow-up question. Okay, I'll go write your ticket. Oh my God, wow. So I did that on purpose. Thank you, officer. Thank you, officer. Yeah, I can do domestic violence. I would, yes, if there was somebody here harassing me, you could call me. Could I? Really? Because you're standing right here now. And I just told you I'm the victim of domestic violence, and this is why I'm pulled over right now. And you asked me nothing. Instead, you can't wait to go write that ticket. So the ticket that was planned and premeditated by a stalker. Here's what we're going to do to rip apart her finances so she can't pay her legally obligated registration. I'm going to make it where she can't pay it. It's not that she doesn't want to pay it. I'm going to make sure she can't. I, the stalker, who's trying to traffic her and coerce her, and she's also a witness in the murder of a cop, by the way. I'm going to intentionally and maliciously make it where she cannot comply with the law. And then I'm going to have you go write her a ticket. And I said, okay, well, we'll see you in court. And now, today, Mr. Perry, the talk behind your back is what's going to end up happening is a traffic court is going to end up being a mini criminal trial for Mr. Perry. And if he impedes that, then it's going to get even worse. These guys are good and they're pissed. Because she's sleeping in her car and he's doing shit like that. Am I still in jail? Who's the guys in Houston? These guys in Houston are going to be all pissed off. Really? Guess what? My guys are pissed off and they can get the shit. Like you tried to traffic me. Before you trafficked me. Like you had another pullover planned. And you've had him pull over. I have everybody has seen the gazillion emails I have about you having me pulled over intentionally. Targeted. And no one could know where I'm going to be to pull me over without a hacker, Sanjay. So, if somebody can determine the why we can get information and you can't, then you'd probably change course because you're going in circles. You got that steering wheel on your boat, on your Titanic, on just hit on turn left. You're just going in circles, and you have been for 10 years. McNamara email says, I intend to false arrest her. You told somebody, I intend to false arrest her and her kid. force them against their will back to Lubbock, where I'm going to entice. And this is free, a free country, and we don't do that here. You're corrupt, you go to jail. It is against the law to do that in the United States of America, in all 50 states. You do this shit, you go to jail, period. I don't care who the fuck you think you are. Remember, I'm the one that can get inside information on your crime that nobody else has. I have help, and the guys that are helping me are really, really pissed. Every day that I'm broke, every day that you're still contacting me, every day I still have a invasion of my privacy, and every day Michael Neely's in jail, and every day I'm still a victim of crime. I signed up to help you get elected, and then you took that off on a whole different something. But maybe then who's Monique, Charles? Who's Blankenship and Desiree? Who's Geppetto? Who's Lucius? Who's James and Ruben? Who's Beverly? And see, you call all over the place and nobody tell you shit. You don't know who has the actual recordings. But the thing is you're like this guy. He's clearly stalking her, he's clearly bothering her, and he's clearly harassing her. Now, he might get up and say, I'm not doing that. Okay, you look as stupid as him when you try to convince people you're not doing exactly what we say.
Oh, God. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How do you dress like this? What are you a prostitute? I'm serious.
Sir, please leave.
That's okay, I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes and I'll leave you alone.
Oh, my God. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How do you dress like this? What are you a prostitute? I'm serious.
Sir, please leave.
That's okay, I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
All right, so we have the information. The recordings are held by officers or someone in law enforcement somewhere, and no one will tell you who has them. You've been looking for a while, and that would include pullover recordings. And if you didn't want a mini criminal trial, you shouldn't have done that. You chose to touch the hot stove, and you're going to get burned. You already are. Listen to me, Mr. Perry. Absolutely no one cares what you think. You were not asked. People are horrified by you, and that's what matters. What everybody else thinks, not what you think. You're the criminal here. You're the intrusion. You're the burden. Everybody wants gone. You can't get information, and we can. Why is that? The why is not clicking for you at all. People are horrified by you. Absolutely fucking horrified by you. And the cruelty that you impose on everybody else. And these guys in Houston are not relevant to us at all. What's relevant is the horrifying and the terrorizing of victims, the people you hurt. And you don't give a fuck. So you are not getting answers. We are. Because people want to help us, not you. It's that simple. And that's reality, TPD. I didn't pick a fight with you. I don't know you. I'm not Wyatt Earp. I didn't come in here to mop up. I didn't want to know about the police corruption. I didn't want to know about shit. I wanted to do my little thing. Go to work, raise my kid, make sure he's getting his homework done, and go to his tennis matches, and that's it. Date somebody, maybe? I mean, I just did not want a fucking thing to do with all this. You brought it to me, and you piled it on me. And I'm not weak, and I'm not a coward, and I'm not stupid. And so set your expectations according to that. Whoever it is that you expect, oh, if we do this, she'll do that. It's a fantasy in Mr. Perry's head that's not real, and then you expect something that doesn't happen, and you get all shocked and dismayed. Day after day after day. It's the same old, same old, same old, same old. And we don't even know what to say to that. Don't expect anything but Mr. Perry's going to jail, and all this stuff will come out in court. There's a reason we're getting it. Period. He was told to fuck off and leave me alone. Comply with the law. He can't control himself, and so he'll be controlled. That's how that's supposed to work, TPD. You're supposed to relieve suffering caused by crime. I'm not the only victim. Surely you know that. Surely you're not that dumb. I'm not the only victim. And people are sick of this. So when your officer said this morning, I was supposed to catch her at the light, but she came in behind me. I heard that. We all heard that. All my guys heard that. Because people are horrified by this. It's not normal to want to hurt people. It's sick and twisted. So we heard that. Nobody picked a fight with you. No one. You're exercising discrimination against a woman, and you don't get to do that. There's a right exercise my right to equal protection against misogyny and gender discrimination, and you are required by law to enforce the law, and that would be against a stalker, against a hacker, against a peeping Tom, against somebody who's witness tampering, against somebody who's killing cops, against somebody who's doing every illegal thing in the book, coercing and stealing money and trying to, tear down people's lives to feel tough guy or make a profit. Mr. Perry, you don't get to use my body for your pretend love life. And you're going to pay me $1,000 a day plus $2,000 a day for doing it against my will. There's absolutely, he said, she's not to be broke anymore. Period. And when you did listen, we got Geppetto's name, we got Lucius's name, we got Beverly's name, we got Sanjay's name out of that. Actually, we got Beverly and Lawrence's name out of your cold shower bullshit. You hurt me, you take something from me, they're going to take something from you. We're going to use what we take from you against you in a criminal case. Just like that, that's what's going to happen. What do you think we're doing this for? Why is it so easy for us to get it and you can't get shit? Because people are horrified by you. They don't like cruelty. Normal people don't like cruelty. And they don't like whack jobs like this.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes and I'll leave you alone.
Oh, God. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How do you dress like this? What are you a prostitute? I'm serious.
Sir, please leave.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want. That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, men. Leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to talk to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her, and you need to leave her alone. And this is bacon.
Now, the way that I can do a sting up, and I guess people have said she claims to be an expert on sting ups. I've not made that claim at all. I've said I'm good at what I do. You're proving that by the attack on me. If I wasn't good, you wouldn't waste your time trying to make me fail. How many men sit around trying to make one woman fail? Yeah, that doesn't get any more pathetic than that. So, what I can do is that when somebody, I mean, if the guy had his body cam on and you look at that, and you're going to see he talked a whole lot more than I did, because what I'm looking for is information. I'm gonna prove my case. I've got a bazillion emails about Mr. Perry being recorded talking about wanting me pulled over, and Mr. Robertson as well. So, what I'm doing here is I'm going to prove that out. So I ask a lot of questions, and the way that I do things is that even a pause, I mean, I can study the pause. If the pause, everybody pauses, there's nothing wrong with a pause. It's where the pause is, how long is it, how short is it, should have there been a pause, or was there no pause when there should have been a pause? So it looks like we got a rehearsed script here. Even something simple like that lets me know the next question I'm going to ask. The next direction I'm going to take the conversation to get what I want. And I have a gift. It's a gift. I don't think I could teach it. It's something I just know how to do. I don't think about it. It's something I do it's just who I am. So, what was the guy yesterday gonna see if he could outsting on me, or what was that all about? Because you got two of them here that pulled me over in a period of time of a month or two that didn't outsting on me. One was Jinx, who acted like he had no fucking idea what the address confidentiality program even is, when he should be offering that to victims of domestic violence. Second, that was a fail. Second thing is, when the second pullover, I'm flat out telling the guy, I'm pulled over because a stalker is taking my money so that I can't comply with the law. He's impeding my ability to comply with the law. At that point, he should have said, okay, that's the bad guy here, not you. Let's get some more information so we can help you with that. And then he gets more information so he can help me with that. Instead, he can't wait to go back to his car and write me a ticket. Comes back and explains his responsibilities as a patrolman versus the responsibilities of an officer who's traffic. Wow. I was like, wow. So if someone's harassing me, you get that kind of call, you come to respond, yes, and you're standing right here and you're not responding. What's your protocol? When a victim of crime says, I'm here because I'm a victim of crime, officer. This is an intentional thing here that just happened. And he did nothing to get more information. Nothing at all. And that's a fail. So what was the deal yesterday supposed to do? That had Mr. Perry not done one more thing for me to sit there and type up that took up some time, delayed me a little bit and put me behind him instead of in front of him so he could pull me over, catch me at the light as he put it. And I have that information. Who has the actual recording? Nobody's going to tell you fuck, because it's horrifying people that you would do something like that to me. Horrifying. So you got to deal with that. And yeah, the guy was right who said what's going to end up happening is we may end up with a mini criminal trial over a damn traffic ticket. And then you impede her from her opportunity to be heard in that. You're going to have, everybody, you just look fucking guilty. And he said, we need to get a grip on reality and stop managing expectations on Mr. Perry's delusion. Because nothing is working like we want it to. So, we're happy to get all the information that we can get so that we stop the crime. And so we're getting a lot of cooperation and you're not getting any because people want the crime stopped. Get it? The why of this. I would think even if Slow Perry can't get it, somebody else that works with him could. And yeah, you need to get a grip on reality. And your organization has been targeted by this particular law enforcement because people are sick and tired of people hurting. You're hurting people. And you got some Achilles heels that are easy to spot and some liabilities and some weak spots. So you go at it. People follow the path of least resistance unless it's stupid Barry here. He'll just go in circles. Whether it makes sense or not. I'm going to get up and do the same thing today that I did yesterday that was a fail. And he's done it every day for 10 years. It's so easy, it's not fair. So has David Robertson. Those two are cut from the same cloth. I don't know what mental problem Mr. Robertson has. To be determined. He's got something wrong with him or he wouldn't do what he's doing. Nobody goes, I've been caught, but I'm going to do it anyway. Nobody smart does that. Normally, somebody gets caught planning a crime, they bail. Normal people would do that. And then there's nothing else about it. So everybody else sees your conduct as very offensive, Mr. Perry, inappropriate. I'm not going to be trafficked, and I'd like to kick your teeth in that you would even ask me. You got a lot of nerve. Don't expect it. Don't. Houston guys, don't fucking expect it. I don't know you. I don't know what you've done, but it's your problem, not mine. I didn't pick a fight with you. You're getting caught going at me, not the other way around. I came here to get away from Mr. Perry and have no conflict and no drama. I fucking hate drama. And people do not respect you. They don't. I know you wish they did, but they don't. They see you just like this guy.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone. I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, men. Leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior, and you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her, and you need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.
That's okay. I don't.
Okay, so when we get the officer talking about pulling me over again yesterday, and he was supposed to catch me at a light, and I came in behind him instead, that is a direct result of I'm still sleeping in my car. I didn't have any food. I'm being deprived of food and shelter because you're trying to force me. You're placing unbearable pressure on me to try to force me to lie and force me to be trafficked, and I said no. And that is illegal. And it's horrifying people that you would even think of doing that. So, because, again, you're still fucking with me, you got caught again. Because, again, I'm still broke. Mike's still in jail. You're still here. You're still, contacting me when I've asked you not to because I can't stand it. I don't care what you think. No one cares what you think. We're all sick of hearing you talk. And you need to understand that, Mr. Perry. Everybody's sick of you. Everybody's sick of your crime. TPD, people don't like corruption. They fucking don't like it. So we got that. We are getting information. We have cooperation you do not have. Take the hint already. Take the fucking hint already. The longer you're contacting me, Mr. Perry, the longer I'm broke, the longer Mike Neely's in jail, the longer you're here in my life and my privacy's invaded, and the more problems and loss and drama and hardships you cause, the more angry everybody gets, and the easier it is to get this stuff, and you won't find out who has the actual recordings until it's too fucking late. He offered to help you if you leave me the fuck alone, and I'm not broke, and Mike's not in jail, and you're not breaking the law. Get the hell off me. You're a burden and an imposition everybody just is sick of having to deal with. No one cares what you think. No one gives two fucks what you think. You were not asked. You were asked to shut the hell up and leave me alone. Act like you understand me. Shut the fuck up and fuck off. And so, yeah, a traffic ticket that was demanded and demanded and demanded and demanded is probably going to end up being a mini criminal trial for Mr. Perry. And, the officer could have handled it different and hedged that off. He chose not to. You keep going at me, we keep getting this stuff before you do it. It's been that way for 10 years. McNamara was 2015. We spot a pattern the second time you do it. Why are you slow? 10 years into this, you can't see this. When you fuck with me, you get caught. Houston guys are pissed. Who the fuck, what do they matter? How much money are they going to lose? That's your problem. You made a promise you shouldn't have made. We're grown-ups. You own your mistakes. You can't fix them if you don't own them. And then the woulda, shoulda, coulda. Well, yeah, you should have followed protocol. Yeah, you should have followed procedure, and you didn't. And so you retaliating against me by a targeted pullover is not going to help you. It hasn't, and it won't. I have help, and I have help that's pissed at all of you. So we got names like Sanjay the Hacker, Geppetto the Witch, Lucius, Beverly, Blankenship, Desiree, Monique. I mean, you don't have one guy's name. They will not talk to y'all. When you are out of my life and giving them nothing else to get, then you won't have them getting anything. But as long as you go at me, they're going to get it. And they're going to get it every time. And I've said that over and over and over and over for years. You guys got Alzheimer's or something? Golly, write it down. Get yourselves nurses or whatever it is, special ed teachers. I don't know, you fuck. I'm not doing this shit. I'm sitting there having to type up what Mr. Perry did. Puts me behind your cop that you wanted to pull me over. That is funny as hell how that happened. I mean, it was just a fluke thing. So, people are sick of this, Charles. They're horrified by you. They're not impressed with you. They don't want to help you. They want you gone. Everybody wants you gone. But for the little club here you formed, everybody else wants you to fucking be gone. Just fucking be gone. I'm not going to help you. And you're continuing to ask the questions about, is it this guy? Is it that guy? I'm going to take. I'm going to get. I'm going to take. I'm going to get. Is it this guy? Is it that guy? Shut up and fuck off. If you want help, you have to shut up and fuck the hell off. And I can't be broke anymore. I have to have food and shelter and whatever it is, my bill's paid. I certainly can make money. The guys that are working with me know that I certainly can make money. They've hired somebody to prove that in court. DoorDash, I should be making 100 to 150 a day. He said that for a long time. I'll go in and other DoorDashers will tell me, yeah, I make about 200 a day. Okay. And so for me not to, Calvin, Sanjay, that's your, in Charles, and I mean, do you think they don't know? They know. So you're going to be in a criminal trial either way. And for you not to think that when we have this much information speaks to your delusion. You're fucking delusional. You're sick and mental ill bad. You need a nurse. You need a nurse. I don't want to help you, Mr. Perry. You're trying to commit a crime against me and a sick one. I'd like to kick your teeth in is what I'd like to do. I don't go where you are, but if you come anywhere near me, that's what's going to happen. That's exactly what will happen and nothing more. I'm not going to be trafficked. I said no. I'm 53 years old. This is a country we don't tolerate that shit. I said no. You're breaking the law. You're being stopped every time we get what you just said. I'm the only victim that knows I was trafficked beforehand. And that ought to make you shit yourselves. Why is that? Why is that? What I asked you to do is give it back and get the hell out. And then my guy will call you and see what he can do. But the longer you drag this out, the less he can do. It's about to be too damn late. You're not wanted. You're not loved. You're told on. Why is that? People are horrified by you. Horrified by you. Somebody just said, if there was a way I could get her money, I'd get her money. I don't even understand this, why he's doing this to her. She's a very brave woman. I'm very impressed with her. To be willing to go through this, to end this kind of nasty crime. Wow, that's something. That's amazing. You're making me a fucking legend. In a whole lot of places where people can think past tying their shoe. This guy's stalking. He can get out and say he's not stalking, and we can all see he is. You look just that nutty. Just exactly that nutty.
Leave me alone. I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, men. Leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior, and you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her, and you need to leave her alone. And this is...
Okay, so, in closing, we got a lot this morning because I'm still broke. Because you're taking my money. I'm broke because of you, not because I'm not a drug addict. I've never even tried drugs. I've never even tried pot in my entire life. I may have gotten some secondhand pot from at work when I danced. It didn't do anything. It's, that's the most that I've ever done. I don't do drugs. I don't drink. I barely drink. I'll drink a couple of times a year. Once every 5 years, I get drunk. And sometimes that's not an intentional thing. I mean, I think one time somebody put way too much something in my gin and tonic. There's one, the last time I got drunk, I was in Dallas. I drank wine all fucking night. And that was my fault. I should have known better. But it's not something I do on a regular basis. This happens once every 5 years. I'm not into substance abuse. I'm not gambling. I'm broke because you're making me broke. You told everybody who will listen you're going to starve me until I lie. Which means I'm telling the truth now. And they know that. They're not stupid. You are. We get cooperation because people are horrified by you. They want it stopped. The people stopping your crime are getting the help. You're not getting the help. I have your names. I found out I was trafficked. Nobody else can say that. I can say that. I can say that. And you act like you fucking have no idea what that means. Okay? So, we're out of words. We're fucking out of words. But you got caught again this morning. Okay? You want to fuck with me. You want to take something from me. They're going to take something from you. Just like that. That's the way that works. Your organization has a lot of weak spots. Was easy to go at. Very, very easy to go at. One of those weak spots is Charles Perry because he's got a mental illness. And he's not going to come up with, you got to manage your expectations properly. And he can't do it. He's basing everything on cuckoo land. It's not real. People with Huntington's disease experience psychosis, paranoia, hallucinations, delusions. And they can't reason like a normal person. They can't do it. I don't know what the hell's wrong with the rest of you. Now, I'm going to say for the record, on December 5th, 2023, that I intend to fight my traffic ticket because you caused it. And it may indeed end up being a mini criminal trial for you, Mr. Perry. You chose that. You demanded the pullover. You wanted that ticket written. And so you get, there's your vomit. Eat it. And any impediment of that is going to make things even worse for you, as it does every time you do this shit to me. Manage your expectations properly. People are sick of this. We're getting the help because people are sick of it. They want it stopped. You can't get information because people want you to stop it. The why of us getting that information is something you need to sit down and understand. And the sooner rather than later. So we're going to say, for the record, chances are high they're going to do everything they can so that hearing doesn't happen, because it might end up turning into a mini criminal trial for Mr. Perry. And we're going to make sure if they do that, they wish they hadn't. Because I kept saying, here's what they're trying to do. Most people are smart enough to bail on the plan if they've been caught. Not these geniuses. We're going to do it anyway. Okay, then how many I told you so's did you want to give me? I mean, it's just like that. That's reality. Your plans fail because you don't get a grip on reality. You don't have any concept of what's real and what is imagined. All of you. You're living in a pretend life or something. You got a little club of people who are living in pretend world and fantasy life and sitting around talking about what they think, how they view the world, but the rest of us are going, yeah, that ain't it at all. He is stalking her. And it is pissing people off. As are you. You are sex trafficking, and it does piss people off. It horrifies everybody. Horrifies people that shit goes on in this country. Charles, you horrify people. You can't get information, and I can, because you horrify people. You're very cruel. You're very wicked. You're very, very cruel, and you're very wicked, and it makes people want to throw up. You're nasty. You're gross. No one will help you. No one will help you. In all these years, you've not gotten help, and you won't. You fuck off. You don't have a choice. Our shrink said, as much as we've quoted him and as many names of their people that we've gotten, the fact that he thinks he has a choice, it speaks to his delusion. It's bad. He needs to be hospitalized. It's irresponsible for his doctor not to put him in the hospital. It's bad. He thinks he has a choice. He does not have a choice. So, you never did. Comply with the law. Period. Control yourself. Period. People are horrified by y'all. Period. We can get information because of it. Period. So, it is, I'm going to do the disclaimer, use allegedly, nobody's been found guilty in a court of law yet, apply the but-for legal standard, the reasonable prudent individual standard, and I assert all constitutional rights, especially equal protection against sex traffickers, misogynists, gender discrimination, stalking, hacking, peeping, and grand larceny with intent to coerce, deprivation of food and shelter with intent to coerce, perjury, obstruction of justice, destroying my evidence, and attempted murder, anything that you do that it's illegal. There's laws to protect me. You do it, you go to jail. If TPD doesn't want to do it, our guys are doing it. They have been all along. I found out I was trafficked. No other victim can say that. I can say that. And the people who have the actual recordings aren't going to talk to you until you get out of my life and I have my money back and Mike's home. Period. And it might be too damn late. The more you drag this on, the less he can do. Otherwise, nobody's going to help you commit your crime and hurt people. We're getting the help stopping that. Have for 10 years. Same old, same old, same old. Let's get up, do the same thing that got the same results, and expect different results. Because we're stupid. Yeah, alright. And that's why things are like they are. So, as everybody note for the record, we're anticipating Mr. Perry impeding the traffic ticket court because it could end up being a mini criminal trial for him. And he thinks we're dumb and we won't know. Nobody will suspect a thing. That is the funniest. I mean, okay, but actually, you just look like him.
Leave me alone! Please!
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man, that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
Okay, in closing, I'm going to address my ex-husband. Okay, here's the thing with my ex-husband. He's family. He's my son's dad. And we tried as best we could when we got divorced to do it amicably and to get along for our kid. It is not good for a kid for their parents to fight, married or not. And Dennis was living in California going to college, and it's very expensive to do that. He had some help from student loans, but actually, I believe his school is stealing the student loans. If the FBI listens to this, you need to look into Hussein Institute in Los Angeles. It's the acting school. They're taking federal funds from FOSFA loans, and there's an excess amount that should be paid to the students. They're not paying it, they're keeping it, and they've had checks bounce. It's probably over $100,000 when you put all the kids together. And my son was one of those that never got his money. They've set up a Facebook account about this, and they've tried to get some recourse. I've suggested they go to the FBI. I don't know if they did or not. The college situation my ex-husband handled. I said to him, go to the FBI with this. This is fraud. And if they put all the kids together, it's going to be over $100,000. They can do that. Go at least ask them. Somebody needs to get on that so that the kids get their money. It's federal funds. It's federal student loan. They're going to have to pay it back. The kids are. While the school kept the money that's not theirs. That place ought to be... somebody needs to go to jail for that. So, anyway. So a lot of times my ex-husband's paying the bills for him and helping me. Now all of a sudden, Dennis is back home with his dad, and he's not having to pay the LA prices. He's paying Dallas prices, and Dallas, Texas prices, and so he's gotten, all of a sudden he's broke, and nobody believes that. Please know that nobody believes that. We believe you've told him to say that because you're proving out our recording. We told her family we're trying to traffic her. We've got to get her to Texas. So we told them we're going to take her money. Not only are you not to help her, you're not even to talk to her. So, please note you're proving that out. When I ask him for help, because first of all, my guy said she's not to have to ask for money anymore. She's not to be broke. There's going to be hell to pay if you do that, and you're choosing to do it anyway. So when we quote that you had an officer, that's part of that. You asked for it. Take something from me, they're going to take something from you. It's going to cost you somewhere. Okay? You want to take my money, then you're going to pay for that somehow, some way. And because it's illegal to do that. It's fucking illegal to do that. What they'll do is they'll let me do DoorDash or waitress or something where they can control the money that I'm making through tips. If I try to get a job at like Walgreens or Target or Quick Trip, all of which high school students work at, I'm third-year college with a 3.64 average. Somebody said that. You hear her podcast, you see what she's done in court. They won't even let her in court now. She kicked their ass. Not a liquor law school. 5 attorneys can't handle her. And you can see in her grades, there's no excuse for her to be broke. He's taking her money. He's taking her fucking money. He's doing exactly what she says. He's proving her out. Doesn't get any more easy. It's so easy, it's not fair. So, if I try to get a job, I applied at Quick Trip, Walgreens, and Target, just for some decent job while I'm in college. I got another year left. They're trying to ruin that too. We got to take that computer so she can't do her homework and get her college money. We heard, you gonna prove that out or not? We wanted to get her in a shelter so we can have one of those homeless people take her driver's license and her computer while she's sleeping. So then no more college money, and then we can traffic her. We've heard everything you said. You gonna prove it out? It looks like you're trying to prove us out. It's so easy, it's not fair. Right? Remember that I'm saying this, because I've already said it. Over and over and over and over and over. Everybody else remembers. If you're stupid and you forget, that's your problem. Everybody else remembers. Remember who it is who's getting help, getting information, and who can't get anything. People don't like what you're doing, and they want you stopped. So they're helping us, not you. Mr. Perry, the public is sick of this. You're abusing your power, if you even have any. The guys that help me have more power in their pinky toe than you'll ever have. We can get information, and you can't. We're quoting you in a meeting. You're not quoting us even once. We're naming your people. You have not one name. Look at the results. Get a grip on reality. You're pissing everybody off. People like us, they do not like you. They're horrified by you. So, when my ex-husband now has, all of a sudden he's too broke to do anything, that tends to prove out. And when he says, I'll give you this one time, but then I don't have any money, we know that's not true. Because for 4 years now, he's been taking care of me and Dennis. Shouldn't have to take care of me. I'm not to be broke or have to ask for money. Period. So, because I did, we got your guy. I was supposed to pull her over. I was going to catch her at the light. Because he knew where I was going to be. He knew what I was doing from DoorDash hacking. Right, Sanjay? So, I mean, I don't want to hear that again. I can't help you because I don't have any money. No, that doesn't add up. Because what I've seen is for 3 years you helped me and Dennis. 3 years you helped me and Dennis. When Dennis's expenses were a hell of a lot more than they are right now. You have another mouth to feed. You had a mouth to feed in California, where it costs a lot more. You telling him to say this? You better make sure he makes sense, because if he doesn't, I'll catch it. You're talking to my family and asked you not to. You're proving out recordings like a motherfucker. I'm not to have to ask for money. I'm not to be broke. And every day that I am, and I do, we're going to get more. You take something from me, we're going to take something from you.